Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
We're live today. Oh, boy. Yeah, I did. I overdid it. Everyone all set, cocked, locked, blissed? Dr. Shealy, are you blissed?
Not over blissed, but blissed.
Oh, boy. Class, your dial is set correctly to usaprepares.com. And if you'd like to call us, we are live from 9 through 11 a.m. Central Time. And we're rebroadcast all over the country. So if you're going to call in, the best time to call is when we're here. And, and that's from 9 to 11 in the morning, Central Time. Call-in number 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. John is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota, and I'm delighted to be broadcasting with Dr. Shealy. Dr. Shealy, there's so many things to talk about. I guess the word is crashed. That's the term that when you're uninvited and you show up. Well, I crashed an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting.
Were they smoking heavily? They often are.
I got to tell you, it was in another state, and I thought, I was looking at some police cars, and I thought, wow, these are little mini jails on wheels, and if you get put in one of those, there's like no way you're getting out. You can't kick the windows out because there are bars on the windows. And so I decided to do some investigative reporting about what happens if someone is arrested for the suspicion of driving under the influence. And it is an absolutely horrible experience. First of all, you're handcuffed behind your back with hinged handcuffs. And I'm not talking about me. This did not happen to me. But I am taking the side of those who are falsely accused of driving or operating a vehicle or traveling. And it gets back to that hypoglycemic discussion we had with the ketones and having your breath smell like you've been drinking when you haven't. I mean, I really believe that this is more common than we may realize, and people just get thrown in the back of a police car. And by the way, these police cars, the backs are these sloped pieces of plastic. It's not like you're on a seat. You're not in a comfortable seat. Now, the cops in the front are in comfort. But if you're in the back, you're in this small cage, handcuffs behind you, and it's like trying to get comfortable on a sliding board. That's what this thing is. It's a curved piece of plastic, so they can easily hose it out should someone wet his or her pants or throw up or whatever they might do in the back there. But it's a miserable setting. And the reason I know is I found one of these police cars in the parking lot, and I looked in there, and I decided to call the police chief. And, of course, I couldn't get the police chief on the phone. I got the police chief's assistant, and I said, I'm doing, my name is Vincent Finelli. I'm doing some investigative journalism, investigative reporting about DUI enforcement. And the police chief wouldn't call me back, so I kept calling. And finally, I got the assistant to the police chief, and she said, you know what, he doesn't know anything about that. You need to talk to the police captain. So here you have a police chief who is saying, yeah, let's get these prisons on wheels. Okay, let's throw people in there with handcuffs. Let's get these tasers. And he doesn't know anything about DUI enforcement. He turns that over to somebody else. So I couldn't get the police chief on the phone. I couldn't get the police captain on the phone, and no one wants to talk about this. So the reason I'm telling you this, Dr. Shealy, is I'm outraged at what happens to someone who is arrested for DUI. And the next thing that happens is they get an attorney, and that's about $3,000 or more. It could be $10,000. The fines are absolutely over the top. I'm talking fines in the thousands of dollars. Then a person who is charged with DUI and has an attorney is told, you know, it's going to be terrible. You just plead guilty. Plead guilty because it'll be easier on you if you plead guilty. So people who are not guilty tend to plead guilty, and then they get sent to these training classes. And what are these training classes? Well, it's either once a week or twice a week or more, and they're tested for urine. So here you have people who might earn $8 per hour gross, 8 hours a day, $64 gross per day, and then they go to the training class where they learn absolutely nothing, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. And so they are then charged $25 for a urine test, and they're charged $30 to participate in one of these moronic classes. So it's $55 net out of a $64 gross paycheck per day. These people are absolutely bludgeoned financially. They can lose their apartment, they can lose their house, they can lose their spouse, they can lose their job. Everything is pointing to absolute collapse in their world. It's an outrage for those who are put in this position wrongfully. So that's where I'm going. And I'd like to share with you a test. By the way, not only did I crash an AA meeting, an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, and I was the only one who didn't say the equivalent of, "Hi, I'm Cindy, I'm an alcoholic," and then here's what I have to say. I just sat there, and then I was called upon to speak, and I just told this group that I thought it was a fabulous group, and that they seemed to be more inclined to help each other than any other group I've ever seen. Seriously, I was quite impressed. Have you been to one, Dr. Shealy?
No.
Okay, I suggest you crash one.
You know, I've been told that most of them have heavy smoking.
Oh, no smoking allowed.
And heavy uses of sugar, but I've never gone.
Okay, there was at this AA meeting that I attended, there was no smoking. There were all walks of life, but I'll tell you what, I was so impressed with the IQ average of this group. I mean, these people were quite eloquent, quite succinct, quite deliberate in their message. And I mean, there were people. There was a guy there with a camel hair coat, a 3/4 length camel hair coat. He obviously was, a lawyer or a government administrator of some level. I mean, he and there he was. Didn't say a word, but there he was. And I guess maybe he was sentenced to going to these meetings as well. But if you have if you end up in court, you might be sentenced. I'm talking to the class. You might be sentenced to attending these meetings. And if you don't attend these meetings, it's the only place you can go, because you can't go to the grocery store. You're not allowed to drive to the grocery store. Your vehicle will be affixed with a breathalyzer, which I tried to use to start a vehicle. And I have a video of me trying. I couldn't do it. Absolutely could not do it. So if you think that, as someone with a respiratory problem, if you think that you're going to be able to drive after going to court and being sentenced to have one of these breathalyzers in your car, forget it. You're not going anywhere. Not only that, if you travel to the supermarket, you will be violating your agreement with the court. You can't go to the supermarket. You can go to an AA meeting, and you can go to these ridiculous training sessions, which I'd love to talk about what they do. So, are you ready for this test, Dr. Shealy? I'd like to share this test. It's
okay.
And I'd like you to consider, if you don't mind, do you have a pencil with you, Dr. Shealy?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me set up this test. There are 4 groups of words, and let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, about 15 words or groups of words in each section. And they will determine, and what you do is you just, class, if you'd like to get a pencil and paper, what you do is just put we'll write down 4 letters, B and R and L and D. And I'll go over this again. And then you just put a strike mark to indicate whether this applies to you. If you think this word applies to you, then you just put a strike mark there under the category of B or R or L or D. And when you do that, we'll count up which group, the B category, the R, the L, or the D, has the most strike marks. And that's who you are. That is the descriptor, the ultimate descriptor of your personality. So we've got about 3 minutes. Let me start with the first category, B. So class, here's what you do. If any of these words apply to you, if you think this describes you, then you just put a hash mark in the B category. Ready? And there are 4 categories. So deliberate. If that applies to you, put a hash mark. Analytical. Practical. Factual. Reserved. Controlled. Persistent. Inquisitive. Predictable. Orderly. Discerning. Detailed. Precise. Scheduled. And then here's a phrase. How it was done in the past. Okay? So if any of those apply to you, then you just put a hash mark for each one. Okay, ready for the next category? This is the L category. So the first one was B. This is L. Takes charge. Assertive. Bold. Enterprising. Leader. Goal-driven. Firm. Determined. Adventurous. Purposeful. Competitive. Decision maker. Enjoys challenges. Self-reliant. Let's do it now. That's the L category. We'll get to the R category and the D category when we come back with Dr. Norm Shealy. NormShealy.com. I'm Vin Finelli. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor-endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in Central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline range camps to you February 6th through 14th, the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Class, I'm delighted to be broadcasting with medical doctor Norman Shealy, and I am reading the categories of this test that was given to a bunch of people who were sentenced by the court to go to this training session to help them with their alleged addiction to alcohol and having been found guilty of driving under the influence or traveling under the influence of alcohol. So there are 4 categories. There's the B, the L, and we did those. And now we're going to do the R and the D. And the reason I'm doing this, I'll explain that in just a minute. So we're on the R category. So put a hash mark down for each one of these descriptive words or phrases that applies to you. So the R category: loyal, even keel, enjoys routine, good listener, sympathetic, nurturing, non-demanding, avoids conflict, dislikes change, adaptable, thoughtful, patient, deep relationships, and let's keep things the way they are. Let's keep things the way they are. Now for the D category: takes risks, motivator, promoter, visionary, creative, optimistic, energetic, fun-loving, likes variety, likes to talk, enjoys change, group-oriented, avoids detail, mixes easily. Trust me, it will work. So those are the 4 categories, Dr. Shealy. And I crashed this meeting, and I said to the person in the office, I found that this is where there are a location for these. It's like a government contractor. So if you've been sentenced to a DUI, you end up in these training sessions, and they're all over various cities. Well, I crashed this meeting, and I got there early, and they said, so what are you here for? And I said, well, I'd like to attend the meeting. And they said, well, you're not on the list. And I said, yeah, I know, but I'd like to attend and learn about the process. And I gave them my name, and they said, well, you can't go in. And I said, well, why? And they said, well, it's a confidentiality thing, is people say things in these meetings, and, it's for their privacy. I said, oh okay, I get it. So as people came into the to the lobby, I'd say, hey, I'm Vincent. Would you mind if I sat in on your meeting tonight. And this company was furious with me because I got the permission of the people who were going to be in the meeting to be there, but the guys running the meeting did not want me to be there. Well,
oh, you are devious. You didn't use that word.
that wasn't one of the words.
I know.
So, Dr. Shealy, let me tell you what I think this means. All right, now here's what the B, the L, the R, and the I'm sorry, if I said D, I meant O. So it's B, L, R, and O. B stands for beaver. So if you're in the B category, that's the animal that these people think best describes you. R stands for retriever, like golden retriever. L stands for lion, and O stands for otter. Now, so for between 45 minutes and an hour, the people that were in the room that I was not in, I just sat in the waiting room to see if I could find out, what these people who were forced into this classroom would learn. I got a copy of this test. So I'm holding it in my hands, and that was the whole meeting. So what are you? A beaver, a lion, an otter, or a retriever? And they never said, listen, if you're a retriever, here's the plan of treatment for you. If you're a beaver, here's the plan of treatment for you, and so forth. All they did was find out what they were, so they could go home and say, hey, I'm an otter. Well, I figured it out. It took about a day for me running this through my mind to figure this out. Dr. Shealy, I believe this is it. Oh, have you picked one for you? I'll tell you what I am. I'm a lion.
I am a strong lion.
Well, I topped the chart with lion. I mean, you couldn't get more lion than I, and I'm sure that you are the same. And when we come back, let me tell you why I think they give this test. It is diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Dr. Shealy and I will be right back, and I'd love to hear his thoughts on my thoughts. This is USAPrepares.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and Off the Grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Class, Dr. Norman Shealy's with us, and if you'd like to go to his website and get the same free newsletter that I get multiple times per week, normshealy.com, normshealy.com, and you can sign up for the same free newsletter. And Dr. Shealy does not do what the government does. He does not spy on you, and he doesn't do what other corporations do and sell your information for profit. It's only for him to use to get you your newsletter via email multiple times per week. Dr. Shealy, so my thoughts on this this test that was given to people who were ordered by the court to attend this rehabilitation training session or series, and they get to spend 8, 12, or more weeks in idiotic training like this. Now, here's my thought on why I think they do this. The training contractor can determine, when you have been rehabilitated. I have a feeling that they look at the people in the class and they say, how many retrievers do we have? They're non-demanding, they avoid conflict, they dislike change, they're good listeners, and they're tolerant. Okay? Those are some of the traits of a retriever. And I think they want to keep the retrievers because they can just say, you know what, I think we need another 4 or 6 weeks training for you, and these people are not going to be disruptive in class. Now, if they look at the Lions, they want to get us out of the class because they can't extort more money from us because we're assertive and bold, and we're firm and self-reliant, and we're adventurous, and we're determined. So they would want to get us out of the class as quickly as possible so they keep more retrievers in the class. What do you think, Dr. Shealy?
I think it sucks. I know I've got to learn how to express myself better, but the Lion said it sucks.
Well, isn't that interesting that these people are forced to go to a training session to determine how, and I really believe to determine how much they can be forced to go to training sessions? That's what I think.
how lowly an animal they are.
And I don't think too many of our instructors would fall outside of the lion category. And I have a feeling that most of our students in class are also lions. So, class, when you look at the things that the government is doing, they are interested in you being one who enjoys routine, one who is tolerant, one who is adaptable, one who dislikes change, and one who is non-demanding and avoids conflict. That's what they want, in my opinion. So, Dr. Shealy, I think it'd be really helpful, since we're on this training class, of why we might smell like we have been drinking if we are either diabetic or hypoglycemic, a medical condition that would make us appear to be drunk, or at least smell like we might have been drinking. And the cops might look at us and say, you know what, you're under arrest. I don't care what you say. I think you've been drinking. And even though, oh, by the way, if you blow into a breathalyzer and you've had a donut, you're going to test false positive in many cases. If you have a pizza, same thing. If you decide you're going to swish your mouth with some mouthwashes, same thing. And if you have one of these breathalyzers in your car and you don't realize that you can't eat pizza, have a donut, or use mouthwash, and you set this thing off and it alarms and finds that you falsely have been drinking, you will be charged $50 to reset your breathalyzer in your car so you can start it again. And the next point is there's a massive storm on Friday that's heading toward the northeast, and you need to get supplies. Okay, you need to have things ready because you might have up to 2 feet of snow, according to the posts I've read. Well, if you have been convicted and you have one of these breathalyzers in your car, you have agreed not to go anywhere other than a pre-approved documented doctor's appointment, an AA meeting, or a government-ordered training session. You're not allowed to go to the store to buy provisions for the storm. You're not allowed to, according to your agreement with the court. It's an absolute outrage. So this just is the tip of the iceberg why I am exposing this corruption at the highest level of our local governments and state governments, Dr. Shealy. So can you share with us what happens to someone who is diabetic and why they might have these ketones that would cause them to test or smell like they've been drinking when in fact they have not?
Well, when you go get more sugar than you can metabolize, it is converted into a substance called ketones, and they smell like alcohol, and apparently in a breathalyzer can even act like alcohol. Mm-hmm. I think fingernail polish remover, if I remember correctly, has something similar in it.
Yes, and that is the smell. Mm-hmm.
And so, if you are diabetic, especially, you're particularly prone to have a false breathalyzer test.
Okay, and how about hypoglycemic?
Well, interestingly, hypoglycemias are really pre-diabetic. Sooner or later, unless they bring it under control, they swing between low blood sugar and high blood sugar, and that induces, again, metabolic changes that are somewhat similar, at least in a breathalyzer, to alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that it would be a characteristic of someone who is hypoglycemic to crave sugar and want sugar from time to time during the day? So, for example,
frequently,
yes.
I'd say every hour or two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And maybe even to the point of going into, I won't call it a panic attack, but a scurrying, like where's some sugar, without saying, I'm having a medical problem, I need to have sugar right now. But without doing that, without even being conscious that the person might be hypoglycemic, looking for something with sugar in it to even out the body's sugar.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, so class, if you have these cravings, let's get Dr. Shealy's opinion on what you should do. Dr. Shealy, what should happen if someone has these sugar cravings?
Well, they should eat more protein.
Mm-hmm.
They should take more chromium. They should exercise more. I mean, basically, they could take an herb called Gymnema, Gymnema. It also helps balance blood sugar.
Okay, and one other problem with what the criminal system is doing to these people is preventing them from going to the gym. So let's say a person had a gym membership and wanted to be fit and trim and lived in a city. For us, we just go out on the farm and do whatever we do, and we don't have to have a membership to a gym, even if there were one close to us, which there isn't. But we don't have to go looking for exercise. We have exercise just living on a farm. But for someone who doesn't live on a farm and has a quarter of an acre or an eighth of an acre, lot, and takes 5 minutes to cut or 15 minutes to cut their lawn once a week, that might be the height of the exercise. They might go to a gym. Well, if you have one of these court-appointed agreements, court agreements that in order to not go to prison or jail, you will abide by these meetings. One of the things you can't do is you can't go to the gym. You can't exercise. You cannot exercise. As a matter of fact,
that
if
sounds
someone
like average government nonsense.
It is, Dr. Shealy. As a matter of fact, let's say a person. Let's say I, as a married man, living with my wife. Let's say she needed to go to the emergency room. Okay. Let's say there was a medical emergency in our home, and let's say I decided, you know what, it'd take too long for an ambulance to get here. Since we live in the middle of nowhere, I'll take her to the emergency room myself, and I can be there in like an hour. And I decide to get her in the car and bring her to the emergency room. Well, under the agreement, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't drive because it's not to an AA meeting and it's not to a government arranged educational seminar to rehabilitate me. I can't do that. This is the worst kind of prison that you can be in without going to prison. And you get to pay for this breathalyzer in your car. You get to pay $80 or so a month plus tax to have the privilege of having this thing in your car. And you have to blow in it a certain way. And while you're driving this, let's say you actually blow in this thing and it says, okay, you are now cleared to drive. Pilot your vehicle. 12 minutes or so after you're in the vehicle and traveling through traffic, the alarm goes off and says, blow again. The cord on this thing is about 2 feet long. It's attached under the steering wheel. And so you have to blow in this thing while you're looking forward, looking backward, looking left, right, trying to drive, not have a collision while you're blowing in this machine to keep your engine running. Because if you don't successfully blow into this thing, within 6 minutes, all the lights start flashing and the horns start beeping, and it's like you have stolen your own car. Then the police will come and probably draw their guns on you and probably shoot you because they think you've stolen a car, which happens to be your car with their breathalyzer. That's how serious this is. This is an absolute outrage and it needs to be stopped right now. I'm serious because I don't want to be on the road with someone who has a breathalyzer who's frantically trying to keep their car running and may not be able to pay attention and crash into me. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
This announcement is for every man tired of waking up multiple times a night to use the bathroom. By calling now, preferred customers can get a free bottle of GoFlow Prostate, with ingredients shown to help reduce those annoying nighttime bathroom visits. The GoFlow Prostate Challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the GoFlow Free Bottle Challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. GoFlow Prostate was formulated by Dr. Mitchell Fleischer with ingredients clinically studied to support an aging prostate. GoFlow helps to increase flow when you go and helps to stop it when you sleep. We challenge you to try your first bottle of GoFlow absolutely free and guarantee you'll be amazed by the results. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-680-1563. That's 1-800-680-1563. This is a limited time offer. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-680-1563. That's 1-800-680-1563.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
Class, Dr. Shealy's here, and we've been talking about diabetes, hypoglycemia, wrongful convictions for driving under the influence. And as you can probably tell, I'm absolutely outraged by this. And of course, I don't. A six-pack of beer would last me a year, you know. I have really no desire to consume alcohol. I'm really kind of busy, and anything that lessens my strength or my clarity of mind, I'm really not interested in. I don't have time for it. I've got more things on my plate than I can do. Dr. Shealy, do you think that's reasonable?
Absolutely.
Okay. I have
I
another
think what you're
topic
doing
I'd
is
like
reasonable.
to. Yeah. I have another topic that I'd like to share with you. I wrote a post called The Hidden Dangers of Wireless Charging of Cell Phone and Other Electronic Devices. Now, at the Computer Electronics Show that was about a week ago, there was a product shown there that alleges to be able to charge wireless devices wirelessly. So, for example, a cell phone, if you have a cell phone and you want to charge your cell phone, the typical way of charging a cell phone is to plug it in to a charger, to maybe an electrical outlet on your wall, or into a USB port on your computer, or a USB charger in your car, or a cigarette lighter charger in your car. Those are the typical ways that one might charge his or her cell phone. Well, there is this company that claims, and they're selling stock on the market, that they can charge a wireless device like a cell phone or other device without wires. Now, what they do is they use the 5.8 gigahertz microwave band to transmit in a directional pattern this power through the air to charge devices. Now, we're not talking about a small amount of power. It might be between 5 and 5 watts, 10 watts or so, maybe even 20 watts of raw power over the unlicensed 5.8 gigahertz microwave band. So, for example, let's say I have a cell phone, which I don't have, and I wanted to charge it. I could get this device from this company called Energous, Energous, Energous Corporation. It's called Watt Up, W-A-T-T-U-P, one word, Watt Up. And I could have the transmitter and the receiver pack attached to my phone, and it would charge my phone from a distance of, let's say, I believe it's a 15-foot radius. I'm really concerned about that because let's say I'm on the phone, on a cell phone call, and I want to charge my phone. So now I've got this antenna aimed at me, at the phone, charging it while I'm talking. So I'm being blasted twice by charging the phone and by transmitting and receiving on the phone. I'm really kind of concerned about this, Dr. Shealy. And do you have any thoughts? I haven't explained it completely, but on the surface, we're talking about an antenna that aims raw power, microwave band, at a device to charge it without wires. However, the transmitter of this charger is plugged in to a power source. Let's say it's the wall or a USB port, something like that. So we're literally grabbing power with wires and then transmitting it wirelessly. Do you have some thoughts on that?
I I don't like it. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, when we come back, Dr. Shealy, I have a whole bunch of medical questions for you. Multiple sclerosis, antibiotics in pet foods, antibiotics in chicken feed, dyslexia, tanning beds and getting cancer, and what about the process, the depression that comes with losing a home or a job or pets, and even more. May we talk about that when we come back?
Absolutely.
Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, normshealy.com. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Dr. Norman Shealy, medical doctor, brain surgeon, neurosurgeon, author of over 30 books, broadcaster for decades, and my friend. And Dr. Shealy's helped me with broadcasting for years. And I'm delighted to be broadcasting with him. In class, if you decide that you would like to help someone who has been wrongfully convicted of driving under the influence, please consider listening to the first hour of today's broadcast, where we talk about what happens if you're wrongfully convicted and some of the symptoms that you may exhibit if you are diabetic or have a hypoglycemic condition. You may find this broadcast useful in court, and you may want to play it for the judge of your conviction or the prosecutor. These people need to understand that they can wrongfully convict people. And they do. And they do. Dr. Shealy, we've noticed that a couple of our dogs have had skin problems in the past. And we noticed that the package of the Diamond Naturals dog food then said, contains antibiotics. So everything was fine, and then they put Diamond. I would not use their pet food anymore. That's my personal opinion. Puts antibiotics in one of their dog foods, and that was the one that we were serving to our dogs. They were fine before that, and then their hair started falling out. Dr. Shealy, why would a dog food company put antibiotics in a dog food?
Well, they're greedy, ignorant, and evil, but other than that, I don't know.
Dr. Shealy, I guess my question is like this. Is the antibiotic added? I mean, it certainly costs more to put an antibiotic in than to not put it in. But are they doing something else to the dog food that would require the animals to have an antibiotic as a preventative for something that they might contract that is in the dog food?
Well, anything's possible. I mean, antibiotics have been used both in chickens and in pigs to increase weight gain. And that, I don't know any reason why I would want to increase weight gain in dogs, and I don't think it's possible to understand evil. And in my opinion, people who do things like put Roundup on crops, antibiotics in dog food or animal feed are evil. Period. End of report.
And I'm glad you mentioned chicken feed, because most chicken feed that I have seen, I'm not saying most everywhere, but it seems like most of the chicken feed that I've seen. So if you just go buy chicken feed and you pick up a pack, 50-pound bag at your farmer's cooperative or your feed store, the one that you're probably going to pick up has antibiotics in it. If you don't want the antibiotics in it, you're going to have to say, do you have any without antibiotics, or does this have antibiotics in it? And they'll probably say, oh, no, you don't want that one. If you don't want antibiotics, that's not the one you want. You want that one over there in the corner, or we'll get it in the back, because most of it does contain antibiotics. So the question, at least in my opinion, and from what I've seen. So now the question is, Dr. Shealy, I have chickens here at the farm, and the chickens lay eggs. Now, if I were to use antibiotic-laced chicken feed, would that have a potential effect on me consuming the eggs and thus consuming antibiotics?
You bet. It totally damages your gut. We need billions, if not trillions, of bacteria in our intestines. They are essentially absolutely critical for your health. And antibiotics totally disrupt those. Period.
Okay, so does this explain why our dogs started having their hair fall out by eating the dog food enriched negatively with
could be
antibiotics?
Definitely could be.
Okay, so class, here I guess the word to the wise now is to read the labels, read the packaging. And new improved might mean laced. New and improved might mean smaller size for the same price. New and improved may not necessarily mean what you think it might mean. So please be careful when you buy food for your dogs and cats and animals. Dr. Shealy, there's an actress who was on a HBO special called The Sopranos, Jamie Lynn Sigler. And she has announced that she has multiple sclerosis. Can you share with us what multiple sclerosis, MS, is, what the symptoms are, and are there any treatments for that?
Multiple sclerosis is a very serious autoimmune disease which destroys the brain and the spinal cord, just, erratically, spontaneously, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The body attacks your own nervous system. Nobody knows unequivocally what the cause is. There's just no question in my mind that Roundup is a very major contributor to all autoimmune diseases, including multiple sclerosis. There are no significant amino acid or any other known medical things to help multiple sclerosis. It is helped somewhat by something called the multiple sclerosis diet, started by a neurologist at the University of Oregon about 40 years ago. It is not something that anybody wants. And occasionally, people do get well with it. The latest evidence, and yet not very elaborate, not complete, is that electrical stimulation of the tongue may help. The University of Wisconsin is carrying that out. But there are no unequivocal treatments.
So are you saying, Dr. Shealy, that the toxins in our food and the toxins all around us may have a part in causing multiple sclerosis?
Yes. No question about it.
What about...
Now, vitamin D deficiency also increases the risk.
Vitamin D?
D as in David, deficiency.
Okay. Okay. And what do you recommend that if a person... Well, what would the symptoms be that would indicate that a person has the beginnings of multiple sclerosis?
Well, it's very all over the place, primarily because it can affect any part of the brain or the spinal cord. And the first symptom can be blindness in one or both eyes. It can be weakness. It can be a paralysis somewhere. So it's almost like what a small stroke could cause. But it most often sets off in fairly young people, 20s or 30s.
What about electromagnetic radiation? Do you think, not necessarily causing or being a part of, would you think that would have...
So interesting about that is, I have just been looking up Bluetooth. These damn stupid things that people wear all day on their head.
Yes.
Those things are like having a cell phone ringing in your ear all day. They are low-level gigafrequencies, like 2 or 3 gigahertz, which are potentially very dangerous to your brain bucket. And so, exposure to a lot of excess electromagnetic energy, which is almost impossible to, unless you live underground, almost impossible to avoid totally. It's not good. It's one of the reasons that you don't carry a cell phone at all, and I carry one turned off, but only when I'm traveling, and only use it for urgent things when I travel.
Dr. Shealy, I said to one of our children, there are, where I live on the farm, there are 2 antennas within 3 miles or so of the farm. 2 antennas, 2 cell antennas. They're everywhere. And I said to one of our boys, I'll bet there are about 30 where you live. And I said to our daughter, I'll bet there are about 300 where you live. So I went to a website called antennasearch.com. Antennasearch.com. There are 2 where we live. There are, I think, 28 where our son lives. And there are about 280 where our daughter lives. 280 antennas within 3 miles. 280 antennas. Now, that does not include all of her neighbors who have Wi-Fi transmitters and receivers that she can pick up in her house, in her neighborhood. There must be 5, 6, 7, or 8 of them within transmission reception range of inside of her house. And there are more antennas going up on these towers every day. When we come back, can we talk about what your thoughts are on the dangers of microwave transmissions? Dr. Norm Shealy, and I'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
This announcement is for every man tired of waking up multiple times a night to use the bathroom. By calling now, preferred customers can get a free bottle of GoFlow Prostate, with ingredients shown to help reduce those annoying nighttime bathroom visits. The GoFlow Prostate Challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the GoFlow Free Bottle Challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. GoFlow Prostate was formulated by Dr. Mitchell Fleischer with ingredients clinically studied to support an aging prostate. GoFlow helps to increase flow when you go and helps to stop it when you sleep. We challenge you to try your first bottle of GoFlow absolutely free and guarantee you'll be amazed by the results. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-680-1563. That's 1-800-680-1563. This is a limited time offer. 1 free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-680-1563. That's 1-800-680-1563.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowicz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallets, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
A lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Class Dr. Norman Shealy's with us, and just a brief message about survival and preparedness. Headlines read, Storm of a Lifetime. This is on dailymail.com. Storm of a Lifetime. Fierce blizzard, unlike any seen for 20 years, is hurtling toward the East Coast to blanket entire region with as much as 2 feet of snow. Washington, D.C., could see 2 feet of snow for the first time in 94 years. You don't. I can hear the cheering now. And
climate warming, right?
Yeah, but snowing in Washington, D.C. is something that I can hear a lot of people cheering over. But it could be the snowstorm of a lifetime for some, according to an MSNBC forecaster. So there may be high tides, severe flooding in the coastal cities on Saturday. Power outages are likely on the coast of Virginia, Delaware, Long Island. Crippling snow and winds to hit Virginia and Washington, D.C. and New Jersey on Saturday. New York City will see snow on Saturday afternoon and into Sunday. So the message is, if you think it would be lousy to not have electricity, make sure you're prepared. And maybe you might want to have something like a kerosene heater, like the Sun makes. We have a couple of those here at the farm. And if you do have one, and if you want to be prepared, make sure you have some kerosene for it. Don't refill it when it's hot. And absolutely, positively, do not, let me say it a different way, do not put gasoline in a kerosene heater, okay? And you'll need to have some ventilation. You can't just have a kerosene heater running without some amount of ventilation in the area where you are inhabiting when this heater's running. So please be careful. Pay attention to the storm coming your way if you're in the east, northeast. Dr. Shealy, we were talking about microwave transmissions, Bluetooth, the dangers. And when I see people with these things in their ear, these Bluetooth earbuds, I look at them and I'll say, it looks like you have something stuck on your ear. And they'll go, yeah. And they just don't get it. How serious is this? Are these electromagnetic wavelengths that are in the air all around us?
The evidence is overwhelming that high use of cell phones increases the risk of malignant brain tumors, as well as even the benign but very serious acoustic neuronoma, one on the 8th cranial nerve. That is beyond doubt at this point. And of course, even high use cell phone people aren't using them all night, for instance. There are people who sleep with these things. And so using them 8 hours or more a day, in my opinion, at minimal doubles your risk of a brain cancer. And I don't need any other, I don't need all the other possible risks. That's enough. You couldn't pay me to use a Bluetooth.
Dr. Shealy, just to hammer this point home, have you cut the tops of heads off? Have you cut the tops of people's heads off to operate on them?
Well, not quite that brutal. I have definitely, let us say, opened the skull on many, many patients, yes.
Okay. That's, Dr. Shealy, I got to tell you, that's something that I would not want to sign up for. I would not want to sign up for a hole being bored in my head for surgery, nor a section of my skull being, cut out like, let's say, 2 inches by 2 inches. I certainly wouldn't want.
Would electively do that. On the other hand, it can save your life.
Yes, but the point is, we could avoid some of that by not being addicted to these cell phones, correct?
And Bluetooth. I'm now putting Bluetooth in the same category at least as bad as cell phones.
Well, I don't have Bluetooth, and I got rid of my iPhone a while ago. And I got to tell you, I've been able to transport myself thousands of miles without a cell phone.
You know, if you have an aneurysm or a tumor, a benign tumor, especially, and incidentally, in children, 50% of brain tumors are so-called benign, not cancer. And they're curable. In adults, only 10% are not cancer, but that 10% is curable with surgery. And it's one of the most gratifying things you could do as a surgeon.
Yes. Dr. Shealy, when we come back, may we talk about, what happens if you lose your home, your job, pet? How do we deal with that?
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com or call 800-544-3533.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great-tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great-tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Yes, Dr. Shealy's with us, Dr. Norman Shealy, medical doctor. And I've been on the phone with a number of people who are going through financial hardships. The economy is bearing down on them. And there are people I know whose homes are in jeopardy. And Dr. Shealy, how does one deal with the looming depression, the looming anxiety that one might feel under these financial pressures of losing the family home? What do we do? And if you think about the weather, the storms, the freezing cold, it was 22 degrees here, maybe 12 yesterday, and maybe 6 the day before. It's freezing cold. What do you recommend we do if that is happening to us? Maybe a possible job loss causing it, maybe a divorce causing it, maybe just can't pay the bills causing it.
Well, there's a total difference between a threatening risk and an actualized risk, if you will. Detachment is possible, difficult but possible, when it's a threatened risk, if it's not staring you, the next day, let's say, in the face. Mm-hmm. But once you've got it, let's face it, it's close to death or loss of a loved one as something can be. Yes. And true grief is absolutely normal in a situation like that. Now, it can also make you angry, of course, but that's not necessarily any better than deep grief. Obviously, one needs all the social help one can get when a major catastrophe like that occurs. And I would say, occasionally the social system does help people in that kind of situation. And beyond that, you need to do everything you can always to be prepared for, whatever happens. And the best way to do that is to have practiced some form of what I call self-regulation. I started my study of that in 1972 with autogenic training. You've heard me talk about that frequently, I imagine. Autogenic training is a very researched technique for self-hypnosis, and it does quiet the autonomic nervous system. Even though it was discovered in 1912, even in recent months, there are still scientific studies being done on autogenic training and its benefit on helping everything from blood pressure to grief, etc. So having done that in advance would help a bundle.
And as you describe this, there are people who have lost pets, and pets are, if they've had them for a long time, a pet can be the companion. the companion, it could be a single person living with a dog. It could be a single person living with a cat. And
even in the last year, and even early in this year, there are already continuing research articles on autogenic training. In 1969, there were 2,600 scientific references already, and I would guess now, if you could really find the total number, it would be 26, well, probably 5,000 or more.
Okay. And would this apply to the loss of a loved one as well, Dr. Shealy? And the reason I'm bringing up this very serious subject is, as we spiral down toward the abyss, as our government is leading us into financial chaos, I believe we're going to see more of this. I believe that there are people who have medical conditions who will not survive this, and those who do survive are going to go through some extreme loss. Many of us have already had extreme losses. I know you have, and I have, and some of our other instructors as well. How do we get through that, Dr. Shealy?
Well, basically, my wife died just shy of 5 years ago. And I can truthfully say, Vince, if I had not had the tools that I've had, I know that it would have been many, many times worse for me. Not that it wasn't bad enough as it was, but it is critically important, in my opinion, to practice self-regulation. By the way, in Google Scholar, there are 17,300 results for autogenic training. That shows you something about the depth of research behind this particular tool. Now, fortunately, I have practiced autogenic training since 1972, and I also had the use of a LIST cranial electrical stimulator and developed within the first week after my wife's death Air Bliss, which is one of the most calming things I know. But Air Bliss helps almost immediately 80% of people with depression or anxiety. So these are ways of coping. Now, the loss of a home, a business, one's job, those are biggies for anybody's book. And yet, you still have to survive and keep on keeping on. And so, again, at the top of my list always would be autogenic training, autogenic training, autogenic training. Air Bliss, Air Bliss, Air Bliss, and, if those are not enough, something called a LISS, L-I-S-S, cranial electrical stimulator.
Dr. Shealy, as you were describing this, I was thinking about another kind of major stress event or events in a person's life, and that would be the men and women who have gone into combat. They've enlisted in the armed forces, thinking that they're going to travel, and they've been conned into thinking this is going to be just awesome, and in fact, they find out that it's pure terror, and they're involved in combat, and the bombs are going off, the explosions are going off around them, they're being shot at, and they are in fear of their life in a very, very serious way, and there may be no way out other than fighting their way out, and many people have been hurt and physically damaged and mentally afflicted by this combat scenario, and I think there's a term the military has for it. And what about those people?
Interestingly, they definitely need Air Bliss. My favorite history is a veteran who had over 10 years of post-traumatic stress disorder, awakening every night with multiple horrible nightmares. First night, he used Air Bliss, he did not have a nightmare. So it is particularly useful in those extreme cases like that. Obviously, you need all kinds of long-term additional, what I call retraining of the nervous system. The nervous system can be trained, you know. We all are trained to tie our shoes, not wet our pants, eat properly. You know, these are things you're trained to do early in life. And you can train the nervous system with a wide variety of guided imagery and autogenic type exercises.
As you discuss this, Dr. Shealy, I'm thinking about some of the people who, in our family, who were in World War II, and you know, we call it PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder or syndrome. Now, back then, it was called being shell-shocked.
Right.
And, you know, shells would be explosives hurled at people, by other people. The enemy would fire upon you with mortars and cannons and tanks and bazookas and so forth, and hand grenades. And those concussions and explosions could cause shell shock. And I know a man who became an alcoholic as a result of being in World War II, and he was shell shocked. And you know, I saw him in his dying days. I visited him in the hospital when he was dying, and it was horrible. It absolutely destroyed his life. I know my father was shell shocked by the kamikazes who were dive bombing his troop ship. And there was a flotilla of ships, and the Japanese planes were bombing. And ultimately, when they ran out of bombs, they would pick out a ship and they would crash into it, and there would be explosives in the front of the kamikaze airplane, a single seat dive bomb, suicide dive bomber airplane. And you know, my father would have nightmares to his dying day, and he'd wake up and he would scream, "Get the gun, get the gun." He was reliving it. And I just wish I had known about Air Bliss before he died. And it's really serious. So I would like to suggest that if you have a son or daughter who's thinking about traveling the world and getting an education on the military, there's better educations to get rather than being shot at and having bombs hurled at you and suffering the results. So please encourage your son or daughter to not enlist for the military. Dr. Shealy and I'll be right back.
I'm with you all the way, Big Blue.
There you go. There you go. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit The Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of The Berkey Guy.
Hello?
Congratulations.
For what?
For losing all that weight. How'd you do it so fast?
ASAP.
ASAP what? What's that mean?
Are you ready to get as skinny as possible, as soon as possible, as simple as possible, and as sexy as possible?
I'm listening.
Then get with the ASAP program. It's real and it works. No smooth talk, no slick advertising, and no exaggerated claims of success.
I've got to know more.
Welcome to ASAP, as slim as possible. Whether you have 10, 20, or 50 pounds to lose, ASAP is your weight loss answer. ASAP targets the abnormal fat reserves and makes them available to be burned as fuel and contains no caffeine or hormones. Order ASAP at wholesale prices or join the team to share the business with others. Visit GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Lose weight and look great with ASAP, as slim as possible.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowitz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallet, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
Why be held hostage by your wireless carrier for 2 years? What if you had no contract, no activation fees, no hidden costs, tracking, tracing, harvesting customer data, or draconian gimmicks, all on the nation's best 4G LTE network? Introducing Pix Wireless. Bring your phone and other qualifying devices to Pix and choose a plan starting at only $14 a month. Get connected now. Call or click 1-866-267-2056 or pixwireless.com. Spelled P-I-X, wireless.com. Pick Pix and get connected today.
You know, class, if you'd like to hear more of USA Prepares, and there's another way you can do it. I mean, you can listen to Liberty News Radio. You can go to Genesis Communications Network, GCNlive.com. You can go to YouTube. And if you go to YouTube, one of our class, Ron Gibson, grabs this broadcast every day and posts it on YouTube. And so if you go to YouTube and you type in Vincent, Vincent, and my last name, Finelli, Finelli, you'll find a lot of results there. And if you'd like to listen to more of Dr. Norman Shealy, you go to YouTube and you can type in Norm Shealy, Shealy, Norm as in Norman, Shealy, Shealy, and you'll find lots of interesting YouTube videos with Dr. Norman Shealy. And so I want to thank Ron Gibson for putting our audio on YouTube Monday through Friday. And I really appreciate all his help. I met him on the East Coast. I drove out and I had a chance to have a bite to eat with him, and it's just a great experience. So thank you so much, Ron Gibson. Dr. Shealy, tanning beds. There's a post on the internet, and this 20-year-old gal decided that she wanted to be in the tanning Olympics. And she gave herself malignant melanoma by tanning 3 times a week for 25 minutes per episode. What are your thoughts on tanning beds and overuse of tanning beds?
Well, I don't like the idea of lying on that. Not only the ultraviolet, but again, the electromagnetic field would be horrendous. Now, standing in front of a total body one for 10 minutes a day, yeah, I think that might be okay. But lying down on one, no. I'm not the least bit interested in burning my buns, so to speak.
That's a really good point that you made, and many of us may not have thought of that, Dr. Shealy. We know that a tanning bed has ultraviolet and light, but the electromagnetics that drive those lights, you are virtually against those electromagnetic devices within the tanning bed structure, right there. The ballast that drives the lights, a lot of electromagnetic radiation comes from that. You're absolutely right. So the bottom line is distance is your friend, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And by the way, in addition to the big storm on the east, the Dow is down 386 points at the moment. Mm-hmm. There's a storm on Wall Street also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, paper promises class. I have decided a long time ago that I would not have paper promises. I did not want to depend on some institution holding my hard work that's accumulated in digits. I didn't want them to do that, so I don't have any stock. I actually have a certificate that said at one time I owned 200 shares of Penn Central Railroad, which is now defunct. I thought, no way would our government let the railroad collapse. Well, it did. So I have a memento of stock purchase back in the 1970s, but I don't have any stock. And Dr. Shealy, you're on the radio in 3 hours from now. It's called Healthy Life Radio every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Time. And it's a call-in broadcast, and listeners can call you at 800-555-5453. 800-555-5453. That's healthylife.net. And Dr. Shealy broadcasts every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Time. And if you have a health question for Dr. Shealy, please give him a call. What do you think, Dr. Shealy?
Hey, terrific, Vince. Have a great day and week.
Dr. Shealy, thank you so much for broadcasting your advice and counsel with us. It's really important because so many of us are in need of your guidance. So thank you so much for being on the air with us, and have a great broadcast at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And if you'd like to listen, healthylife.net. Above all,
always
honesty
fun,
and
Vince.
integrity.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Shealy. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.